The Galactic Dominion command ship, known as the Wrath of Zoltar, drifted silently above Earth's atmosphere. It was an imposing behemoth of metal and energy, bristling with plasma cannons and kinetic turrets. The ship was a symbol of unstoppable force, the kind that conquered entire star systems with a single barrage of firepower. Admiral Krylox, a towering reptilian being with iridescent blue scales and cold yellow eyes, stood at the command podium, flanked by his most trusted officers. His voice was deep and commanding. "Activate the global transmission array," he growled. "Humanity must understand their inevitable fate." His first officer, Commander Zintar, nodded and tapped a holographic panel, bringing up a massive communication interface. The ship's system hummed to life, ready to broadcast Krylox's ultimatum to the entire planet. Krylox cleared his throat, preparing to announce humanity's doom. "This is Admiral Krylox of the Galactic Dominion, addressing the insignificant species of Terra. Your civilization is hereby—" Suddenly, the screen flickered. Krylox frowned, his talons clenching the podium. "What is the meaning of this?" Commander Zintar tapped furiously at the controls. "Sir, the system has been hijacked. Something is overriding our broadcast." The screen glitched again, and then a small, furry face appeared. A ferret. A scruffy, light-brown ferret with bright, mischievous eyes and a tiny pink nose. It was sitting on top of what looked like a pile of disconnected cables, gnawing on a piece of wiring like it was a chew toy. The entire command deck fell silent. The ferret glanced up at the camera, tilted its head, and grinned. "Oh, hey, is this thing on?" the ferret chirped. Admiral Krylox's eye twitched. "Who dares interrupt my broadcast?" The ferret snorted. "Oh, wow, you sound like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Can you maybe tone it down a bit? You're scaring the mice." Krylox's claws dug into the podium. "Identify yourself, rodent." The ferret looked offended. "Excuse you, I am a ferret, not a rodent. Learn some biology, you scaly sack of overcompensation." The bridge crew collectively held their breath. No one had ever spoken to Krylox like that and lived to tell about it. Commander Zintar whispered urgently. "Sir, it seems the creature has physically infiltrated the transmission array. It's sitting in the data hub." Krylox's glare deepened. "Remove it. Now." The ferret rolled its eyes. "Yeah, good luck with that. This place is like a playground for me. You guys have so many wires to chew on. It's like Christmas." Krylox barked a command. "Deploy security drones." The screen flickered again as the ferret seemed to fumble with the wires, making static and distorted alien voices break through. "Uh-oh, looks like I broke your fancy spaceship phone." "Oops," Krylox growled. "What are you doing to our systems?" The ferret looked up from a particularly chewy cable and smirked. "I'm improving it. Did you know your comm system is held together with literal duct tape? Who built this thing? A bunch of budget gremlins." The bridge crew looked at each other, some nervously, others genuinely confused. "Sir," Zintar whispered, "we are receiving critical errors across the communication network. The system is shutting down one module at a time." The ferret yawned. "Oh, did I do that? You guys really need to get your tech sorted out. I mean, seriously, one chewed wire and this whole thing is toast. Pathetic." Krylox could feel his blood pressure skyrocketing. "Why are you sabotaging our systems? What do you want?" The ferret squinted at him with mock confusion. "Why? I don't know. Boredom. Plus, I couldn't help but notice that your entire ship looks like a flying garbage can. Really not feeling the space reptile aesthetic." One of the bridge officers couldn't help but snort a laugh, quickly covering his mouth when Krylox shot him a glare. "Sir," Zintar reported, "the reactor monitoring system has gone offline." The ferret glanced around, looking pleased. "Oh yeah, I pulled a few things out. Hope that wasn't important. You guys really shouldn't put your critical power conduits next to snackable cables." Krylox bared his teeth. "You dare mock the Galactic Dominion?" The ferret smirked, twitching its nose. "Look, buddy, I don't know what your deal is, but if you're going to try and conquer Earth, maybe don't announce it like some kind of cosmic drama queen. You sound like you're auditioning for intergalactic Shakespeare in the park. Zintar leaned closer to the admiral. Sir, the planetary broadcast is still active. The entire human race is watching this. Krylox froze. They can see this. The ferret waved cheerfully at the camera. Hey, Earth, your invaders are dumb as rocks. I'm handling it. No worries. Krylox seethed with barely contained rage. I will skin that creature alive. The ferret laughed. Ooh, scary. Do you practice that line in the mirror? I bet you spend hours perfecting your evil monologue. The ferret hopped up onto the central control console, pressing random buttons with its little paws. Suddenly, the main thrusters fired up, and the ship lurched violently to one side, sending crew members stumbling. Oh hey, is this the go faster button? Neat, Krylox roared. Shut it down. Now. The ferret wiggled his nose. Nah, I like it. Kinda cozy. You really should upgrade your user interface. It's like trying to control a spaceship with stone tablets. Zintar's face went pale as he checked the diagnostics. Sir, the ferret has locked us out of the navigation system. We're drifting into Earth's atmosphere. The ferret gave a cheeky salute. Have fun with gravity. Remember to scream real loud on the way down. I hear it's good for morale. Krylox slammed his fists on the podium. You insufferable vermin, I will... The ferret grinned. You'll do nothing but fall like a rock. Maybe next time, don't let a fuzzy mastermind take over your flying junk heap. With one last button press, the ferret shut down the entire communication system, leaving the crew scrambling in the dark as alarms blared. Before the screen went black, the ferret's voice echoed one last time. Oh, and next time, bring snacks. I'm partial to peanut butter and chaos. Bye. The command deck of the Wrath of Zoltar was in chaos. Alarms blared as the massive warship drifted off course, thrusters firing erratically. Crew members scrambled to override the controls, but every time they tried, the system spat out an error message that read, System override, ferret mode activated. Admiral Krylox was on the verge of an aneurysm. He stormed down from the command podium and shoved his first officer, Commander Zintar, aside. You mean to tell me that our warship, our flagship, is being held hostage by a furball? Zintar hesitated, unsure how to phrase his answer without getting punched into next week. Sir, it appears that the creature has physically integrated itself into the core communication network. It is remarkably efficient at sabotage. Krylox snarled. Track it down and eliminate it. The screen flickered to life again, and there was the ferret lounging on a pile of tangled cables, looking immensely pleased with itself. Oh hey, still trying to kick me out? Good luck with that. Krylox's yellow eyes narrowed to slits. You insignificant pest, I will crush your tiny skull beneath my claws. The ferret's nose twitched. Wow, edgy. You should try calming down, big guy. You're gonna pop a blood vessel. That's how you get those scaly forehead wrinkles. A few bridge officers snorted involuntarily. Krylox shot them a murderous glare, and they instantly straightened up. Where did you even come from? Krylox demanded. The ferret gave a lazy shrug. Some idiot probably smuggled me on board. I found the air vents and, well, here I am. Your security is a joke, by the way. I'm pretty sure a hamster could hack this thing. Zintar looked horrified. You hacked our central command? The ferret grinned. I don't know, man. I just started chewing on stuff and suddenly I was in charge. Guess your ship was built by underpaid interns. Krylox barked a command. All security teams, converge on the data hub. Terminate the intruder. The ferret rolled his eyes. You mean the room with all the blinking lights and snackable wires? Yeah, good luck. I kinda turned the doors into pretzels. Zintar frowned. What does that mean? The ferret waved a paw. I mean, I locked them in a recursive loop. Every time they try to open the door, it locks again. You guys really didn't think this design through, did you? Krylox bellowed in rage and punched a console, causing sparks to fly. On Earth, the entire planet was glued to their screens, watching the ferret's hijacking unfold. News anchors were practically crying with laughter as they replayed the ferret roasting Krylox on live intergalactic broadcast. Social media was exploding with hashtags. Ferret vs aliens, Sassy saboteur, Scales vs fur, Ferret for president. A particularly popular clip showed the ferret saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to look intimidating? Too bad your ship looks like a metal potato with anger issues." One viewer tweeted, "Honestly, if Earth survives this, I vote we make the ferret our new ambassador." Back on the Wrath of Zoltar, Krylox was trying to keep his blood pressure under control. "What do you want, you little menace?" he growled. The ferret squinted at him, looking thoughtful. How about snacks? I want peanut butter, lots of it, and one of those little squeaky toys shaped like a mouse. You know the ones. They're addictive," Krylox seethed. "You will receive nothing but death if you do not return control to me." The ferret shrugged. "Fine. Enjoy your new flight path." Krylox froze. "What did you do?" The ferret flashed a toothy grin. "Oh, I just redirected your trajectory. Hope you like deep space. I set your course to fly straight into a black hole. Should be a nice vacation. Real peaceful." Zintar paled. "Sir, the navigation controls are completely locked. We're on a direct course to the Vargax singularity." Krylox's eyes went wide. "You idiot! Fix it!" Zintar frantically tried to access the controls, but every system displayed the same message. "Operation locked. Ferret mode enabled." Krylox turned back to the screen, teeth bared. "You think this is a game?" The ferret gave a nonchalant shrug. "Pretty much. You came here threatening Earth, and now your flying trash can is heading for permanent vacation. Seems fair." Krylox's mind raced. "There must be something you want. Name it." The ferret considered this, tapping his tiny paw against his chin. How about you admit your ship design sucks and promise never to come back to Earth?" The bridge fell silent. Zintar whispered, "Sir, it may be our only way out." Krylox looked like he was about to explode, but he finally gritted his teeth and snarled, "Fine. I admit our ship design is inferior." The ferret smirked. "Louder. Say it like you mean it." Krylox roared, "Our ship design sucks. Are you happy now, vermin?" The ferret gave a satisfied nod. "Better. And the second part?" Krylox growled. "We promise never to invade Earth again." The ferret grinned. "Cool. I'll unlock your navigation. Maybe aim for a better paint job next time." The bridge crew scrambled to regain control, and the ship's trajectory slowly corrected itself. Krylox was left breathing heavily, his pride in shambles. As the crew struggled to reset systems, the ferret popped back on the screen one last time. "Oh, and one more thing," he said with a wicked glint in his eyes. "I might have emailed your entire ship's maintenance log to Earth. Turns out your weapons array has a critical design flaw." "Oopsie." Krylox froze. "What did you do?" The ferret winked. "Just making sure you don't try anything stupid. Earthlings know your weak spots now. Have fun being a floating joke." With that, the transmission cut off, leaving the crew stunned. Krylox slumped back against the railing, defeated. "Get us out of here," he muttered. On Earth, celebrations erupted as news broke that the Galactic Dominion had retreated. People cheered for their new fuzzy hero, and memes flooded the internet. Ferret 1, Aliens 0, Talk Smack, Get Hacked. Did we just win an interstellar war because of a ferret? The ferret, now dubbed Captain Nibbles, became an international sensation. People printed shirts that read, "Earth's fiercest guardian, Captain Nibbles, conqueror of aliens." And as for Captain Nibbles, he spent the rest of the day curled up in a cozy bed, munching on peanut butter treats and listening to the news anchors praise his cunning. For once, Earth was safe, thanks to a cheeky little ferret who just couldn't resist causing chaos. The Galactic Dominion was humiliated. The Wrath of Zoltar, once a feared symbol of galactic conquest, was now the laughingstock of the cosmos. Word spread quickly that the unstoppable warship had been hijacked by a tiny Earth creature, a ferret, that roasted the admiral live on planetary broadcast. Admiral Krylox sat brooding in his private quarters, his claws rhythmically scraping against the metal table as he replayed the footage on his personal monitor. The scene of Captain Nibbles, as Earthlings called it, giving him a verbal thrashing, was being endlessly analyzed by Dominion engineers and strategists. Commander Zintar entered the chamber cautiously. "Sir, the Galactic Council is demanding an explanation." Krylox snarled, smashing the screen with his fist. "They want to know how our state-of-the-art warship was bested by a fuzzy rodent." "Yes, sir," Zintar replied, suppressing a smirk. "And they've requested detailed reports on the ferret threat." Krylox's eyes twitched. "Tell them it was a freak occurrence, an anomaly. One stupid creature cannot possibly represent the threat level of Earth." Zintar hesitated. "Sir, there's more. Several other Dominion ships have reported seeing similar creatures aboard their vessels. They are disabling systems, chewing through data cables and hijacking comms." Krylox looked at him in disbelief. "You're telling me that more of these little demons are infiltrating our fleet?" Zintar nodded gravely. "It appears the ferrets are multiplying." The Galactic Council chamber was in turmoil. Ambassadors from every major power block shouted over each other, trying to make sense of the ferret crisis. The High Speaker, an ancient crystalline being with shimmering facets, struck his staff against the podium, trying to restore order. "Silence," he bellowed, his voice reverberating through the chamber. "We must discuss the implications of this ferret invasion." The Vlethan ambassador spoke up, his crystalline tendrils twitching in agitation. "We have reports of ferrets infiltrating multiple Dominion warships. They are wreaking havoc on systems and making mocking transmissions to nearby fleets. It is unprecedented and humiliating." The Zelnath representative, a being of ethereal light, floated forward. "Have we determined the origin of these creatures? Are they a biological weapon developed by humans?" Thaluin, the ambassador who had originally investigated Earth's feline rulers, cautiously raised a tendril. "According to Earth's databases, ferrets are domesticated pets, playful and mischievous, but not normally intelligent or capable of communication." High Chancellor Drakath scoffed. "Then how do they keep compromising our warships? Are they trained saboteurs?" Thal-Un hesitated. "It is possible that ferrets possess a natural affinity for technology. They seem curious and fearless, willing to explore and dismantle anything they find." A representative from the Kalthari Republic muttered darkly, "We must assume the humans have enhanced them somehow." It's the only explanation. Back on Earth, the media frenzy had reached a fever pitch. News outlets were holding special segments on ferrets, interviewing experts on ferret behavior and intelligence. One news anchor was practically in tears from laughing. "So you're telling me that a ferret just took down an entire alien warship by chewing wires and insulting the admiral?" The ferret expert on the panel nodded, holding back a smile. "Yes, that's correct. Ferrets are known for being extremely curious and mischievous. If they find something that looks like a chew toy, they will absolutely destroy it." A reporter chimed in, "And the talking part? How is that possible?" The expert shrugged. "Maybe it's some kind of alien technology influence, or maybe Captain Nibbles is just one of a kind." People across the world were making ferret-themed merchandise, and ferret mode-activated shirts were selling out. Social media was flooded with memes. "Next time aliens invade, just unleash the ferrets. We don't need super soldiers, we have super ferrets. If you see a ferret chewing your router, thank it for its service." On board the Dominion warship Thunderclaw, Commander Vorlak was giving his daily report when the main view screen glitched and was replaced by the face of yet another ferret, this one darker brown with white paws. The ferret grinned, its tiny nose twitching. "Hey, Captain Scales for Brains. Nice ship you got here. Real cozy. Smells like burnt cheese, though." Vorlak bared his teeth. "How did you infiltrate my bridge?" The ferret pretended to think. I crawled through your ventilation ducts, maybe? I don't know, your ship is basically a hamster maze, super easy to get around." Vorlak snapped at his crew. "Seal the vents. Contain it." The ferret gave a mocking little wave. "Oh, don't be mad. Your security sucks. I already reprogrammed your food dispensers to serve nothing but marshmallow fluff. Have fun explaining that to the troops." The commander's eyes widened. "You dare tamper with our sustenance systems?" The ferret shrugged. "Just making sure your diet matches your attitude, soft and sticky." The Galactic Council convened once more, this time with urgent military representatives from every faction. High Speaker Tiervak raised his clawed hand. "We are issuing a galactic red alert. Ferrets are now classified as level alpha threat entities. All ships must secure ventilation ducts and reinforce communication systems. In addition, any ferret sighting must be reported immediately." Drakath snorted. "We are losing control of our war machines to fuzzy creatures. We must develop anti-ferret countermeasures." The Zelnath ambassador suggested, "Perhaps we should develop decoy ships filled with chew toys and snacks to lure them away from critical vessels." High Speaker Tiervak considered it. "A reasonable tactic. We will commission ferret lure vessels to distract and contain the creatures. Meanwhile, ensure all crew members are trained to identify ferret activity." When word got back to Earth that ferrets were now considered galactic threats, Captain Nibbles appeared on live TV. Sitting atop a pile of snacks, he gave his most charming grin and declared, "Attention, space lizards and glow sticks. You can't stop us. We're everywhere. We're small, fluffy, and way too cute for you to handle. Deal with it. Also, send more peanut butter." The broadcast cut out, leaving the galaxy stunned and terrified. With the Galactic Dominion retreating, humans officially adopted the Ferret Defense Protocol. Deploy ferrets on all critical defense stations. Allow ferrets unrestricted access to ship wiring. Always provide snacks and squeaky toys. And the galaxy? It decided it was better to leave Earth alone rather than risk being publicly humiliated by a tiny, sassy ferret. Captain Nibbles, now an international hero, spent his days napping on a plush cushion, occasionally hacking into Dominion broadcasts just to say, "Still watching you, lizard lips." The Galactic Dominion was in shambles. Admiral Krylox had barely managed to pull his ship, the Wrath of Zoltar, out of its gravitational death spiral when the Galactic Council demanded his immediate presence. Reports of ferret infestations continued to pour in from other warships, and even some research stations had fallen victim to rampaging packs of ferrets chewing through data cables and mocking their captors over the comms. Meanwhile, the galaxy had adopted "ferret mode activated" as a joke phrase for any major system failure or hacking incident. Krylox hated that phrase with every fiber of his being. The Galactic Council chamber was filled to capacity with representatives from every major faction. The air was thick with tension, and High Speaker Tiervak looked like his mandibles were about to snap from stress. "Admiral Krylox," he growled, "explain how one small Earth creature managed to cripple your flagship and humiliate our entire military presence." Krylox gritted his teeth. The creature displayed unprecedented cunning and resourcefulness. Its ability to manipulate our systems was unexpected. High Chancellor Drakath hissed with disdain. "And how do you explain the subsequent ferret invasions across our fleet? Are we to believe that Earth has a secret army of sabotage vermin?" Envoy Thaloon, who had been observing Earth's feline rulers, stepped forward cautiously. "The creatures known as ferrets are domesticated companions on Earth. They possess remarkable curiosity and dexterity, but their hostile intentions remain unclear." A representative from the Zolath Empire interjected, "Unclear? They're dismantling our warships. One ferret managed to lock an entire carrier group in its own hangar bay." The Kalthari ambassador spoke up, visibly trembling. "My research station was taken over by a single ferret who locked me out of my own quarters and demanded peanut butter." The chamber erupted in heated debate, some calling for extermination protocols, while others suggested appeasement and tribute. High Speaker Tiervak finally raised his staff, calling for silence. "We must consider the human perspective on these creatures. If ferrets are truly part of Earth's defense strategy, we must approach the matter diplomatically." Krylox snarled, Diplomacy? With vermin? Tiervak shot him a glare. They have proven their superiority over our warships, Admiral. We will establish direct communication with Earth and negotiate terms for ferret control procedures. Back on Earth, Captain Nibbles had fully embraced his role as Earth's furry defender. A makeshift ferret command center had been set up in the living room of his human caretaker, a scruffy college student named Ben, who looked perpetually sleep-deprived. Nibbles sat atop a pile of snack wrappers, proudly gnawing on a rubber squeaky toy shaped like a spaceship. Ben was too busy live-streaming the ferret's antics to bother cleaning up the mess. The TV flickered to life, and Ben nearly dropped his phone as a Galactic Council transmission came through. The imposing figure of High Speaker Tiervak filled the screen. "Greetings, Earth. We wish to negotiate terms regarding your ferret defense forces." Ben raised an eyebrow. Nibbles? You got another call." Nibbles chattered and jumped onto the TV stand, facing the screen with a cocky grin. "Hey, Bugface, miss me?" Tiervak tried not to flinch. "We request that you cease sabotaging our ships and attacking our outposts. In exchange, we will offer resources and technology to your people." Nibbles yawned dramatically. "You invaded Earth first, genius. Maybe don't try to blow up our planet, and I wouldn't have to commandeer your space junk." Tiervak hesitated. "We acknowledge our prior aggression may have been premature. However, we must insist that you call off the other ferrets. They are crippling our fleet." Nibbles pretended to think. I don't know. My fuzzy battalion likes your crunchy cables. It's like chewing on crunchy spaghetti. What's in it for us?" Tiervak's crystal facets flickered with irritation. "What do you want?" Nibbles grinned. "Peanut butter. Lots of it. And those little rubber squeaky toys that sound like dying birds." Tiervak looked confused. "Peanut butter?" Nibbles nodded. "Oh, and a giant ball pit. With tunnels. Lots of tunnels. Got to keep the boys entertained." The High Speaker glanced at his advisors, unsure whether to take the demand seriously. Finally, he sighed. "Very well. We shall comply with your demands. The Dominion will deliver 10 metric tons of peanut butter and 5,000 squeaky toys as a gesture of goodwill." Nibbles gave a slow, smug nod. "Pleasure doing business. Now stop trying to conquer Earth and go back to playing space bingo or whatever it is you do." People around the world were in stitches over the fact that a single ferret had not only humiliated an alien armada, but had also successfully extorted snacks and toys from them. Social media exploded with fan art and hashtags like "Ferret Diplomacy," "Snack-Based Warfare," "Peanut Butter Treaty 1," particularly viral post read, "Intergalactic Crisis Averted by Ferret. Humanity owes its survival to Captain Nibbles, Supreme Commander of Chaos." The UN Secretary-General addressed the world, trying not to laugh. "It appears that Captain Nibbles has successfully negotiated with the Galactic Dominion. We would like to extend our gratitude to our fuzzy hero and his ongoing dedication to planetary defense." In the wake of the Ferret uprising, the Galactic Council issued a directive to all military and research facilities. All Galactic Dominion vessels and installations are required to implement ferret-proofing measures, including sealed ventilation systems, reinforced cable shielding, ferret detection protocols, emergency peanut butter rations as a last resort. A new galactic directive was announced. Earth ferrets are hereby recognized as autonomous entities and defenders of planetary sovereignty. Interference with ferret activities is strictly prohibited. Captain Nibbles, now an intergalactic icon, was content to nap on Ben's couch, surrounded by piles of squeaky toys and crates of peanut butter sent from the Dominion as part of their peace tribute. Ben sighed, watching his ferret devour another spoonful. "You know, Nibbles, you basically just saved the world." Nibbles chattered happily. Yeah. Tell the lizards to send more chewable cables next time. This place is getting boring." Ben just shook his head. Who knew chaos in a fuzzy package was our greatest weapon? Captain Nibbles gave a proud squeak, his eyes gleaming with mischievous delight. As far as he was concerned, the galaxy was his playground now. Captain Nibbles was living the dream. His makeshift command center, aka Ben's messy living room, had become a shrine of sorts. The walls were lined with galactic memorabilia sent by alien diplomats hoping to curry favor with the mischievous little hero. There were crates of peanut butter jars, heaps of squeaky toys, and even a few custom-made ferret-sized spacesuits sent as tributes from alien factions. Ben was still trying to figure out how to fit his bed back into the apartment. "Hey, Nibbles, do you think maybe we could clear some space?" Ben asked, picking up a squeaky toy shaped like a tiny spaceship. Nibbles, lounging on a pile of cushions and plush blankets, looked at him with a bored, judgmental glare. "Sounds like a you problem, buddy. My royal suite needs to stay exactly how it is." Ben sighed and checked his phone. "You know, the internet's obsessed with you, right? Someone just made a Captain Nibbles plush toy, and it's already sold out." Nibbles grinned. Yeah. Tell 'em to make more. Maybe with a little cape this time. I'm feeling heroic." Across the galaxy, reports were pouring in of other alien factions trying to emulate ferret tactics. Soldiers from the Vlethan coalition were seen crawling through ventilation ducts, only to get stuck and require rescue. The Zelnath coalition tried incorporating sabotage training involving tiny robot replicas of Nibbles, but the results were disastrous. One particularly infamous incident involved the Draskan Empire, where a squad of warriors dressed in fur cloaks attempted to infiltrate an enemy base by chewing through power conduits. They ended up electrocuting themselves and were quickly captured. The Galactic Council issued a memo advising against untrained ferret imitation tactics, reminding everyone that chaos mastery was an innate ferret skill and not something that could be artificially replicated. Back on the Wrath of Zoltar, Admiral Krylox was plotting his revenge. He had no intention of letting his reputation be destroyed by a tiny fuzzball. Krylox paced the bridge, his claws scraping the metal floor as he muttered darkly. Commander Zintar approached cautiously. "Sir, the Galactic Council has formally banned any aggressive actions toward Earth," he reported. "Captain Nibbles is now considered an untouchable entity under the Galactic Peace Accord." Krylox clenched his fists. "They would dare protect that menace?" Zintar nodded, trying not to flinch. "Sir, may I suggest public relations? Perhaps we should issue a formal apology to regain face." Krylox growled. "Apologize? To a rat? Never." But Zintar, realizing this was his one chance to salvage their dignity, pressed on. "What if we publicly honor the ferret's cunning? If we frame it as admiration, it might repair our image." Krylox's eyes lit up with an idea. "Turn defeat into admiration. Brilliant. We shall present the ferret with an honorary medal and declare him a strategic genius. It will make us appear gracious in defeat." A few days later, Captain Nibbles was lounging on his plush mountain of blankets, enjoying a peanut butter snack, when Ben waved his phone at him. "Hey, Nibbles, you're on the news again." Nibbles barely glanced over. "What did I do this time?" "They're giving you a medal." That got his attention. He scampered over, perching on Ben's shoulder to look at the screen. The Galactic Dominion had issued a formal broadcast, with Admiral Krylox wearing a forced, strained smile. Behind him, a massive banner read, "Honoring the strategic genius of Captain Nibbles." Krylox, looking like he was swallowing poison, held up a gleaming platinum medallion shaped like a tiny paw print. "It is with grudging respect that we acknowledge the tactical prowess and cunning spirit of Captain Nibbles, the ferret who humbled the Galactic Dominion. This Medal of Cunning is awarded in recognition of his exceptional sabotage abilities and mastery of warfare." Ben laughed so hard he nearly fell off the couch. "Dude, they're trying to make you look like a war hero to save face." Nibbles preened. As they should. Took them long enough to acknowledge greatness. Soon, alien cultures became obsessed with honoring ferret values. The Zelnath constructed temples dedicated to the great Nibbles, complete with statues of ferrets holding tiny wrenches to signify their mastery of sabotage. The Draskan military began training elite squads known as Nibbles Claws to practice disruption tactics, though they lacked the mischievous charm to pull it off convincingly. Tourist shops on Earth started selling official Captain Nibbles medals and plush replicas of the ferret hero, complete with tiny medals of cunning pinned to their chests. To cement his legacy, Nibbles decided to make one final broadcast to the galaxy. Ben set up his phone on a makeshift tripod, and Nibbles strutted into view, wearing a little red cape someone had sent as a gift. "Attention, space nerds," Nibbles chirped. "This is Captain Nibbles, the Supreme Commander of Chaos. I graciously accept your medal, and I'll even pretend it wasn't a desperate attempt to save face. You're welcome." He adjusted his cape and grinned. "From now on, if you want to invade Earth, just remember, we have millions of ferrets. We're small, we're fast, and we'll chew through your power conduits before you can blink. So unless you're bringing snacks and squeaky toys, stay in your own backyard. Got it?" He gave a little salute with his tiny paw. Nibbles out. The broadcast ended, and the galaxy collectively decided it was better to just leave Earth alone. The galaxy would never forget the time an insanely cocky ferret not only defeated an armada, but embarrassed the most feared admiral in the galaxy, live on broadcast. Captain Nibbles remained a living legend, adored by humans and reluctantly admired by aliens. The Dominion's fleet began incorporating ferret-proof designs, but deep down, everyone knew it was pointless. The legend of Nibbles had permanently altered galactic warfare strategy. Chaos always wins, especially when it's tiny, fuzzy, and demands peanut butter. Nibbles basked in the glory of his success, lazing on his pile of plush toys while Ben watched the news. "They're building a monument of you on Celesta 9, Ben chuckled. "They're calling it the Shrine of Unstoppable Mischief." Nibbles yawned and gave a sleepy grin. "They know what's good for them. Make sure they put a snack bar in that shrine. Can't have worship without treats." And with that, Captain Nibbles, the fuzzy mastermind of intergalactic chaos, curled up for a nap, secure in his role as Earth's greatest defender.